Hello students, today's lesson is going to be on the study of the functions of management. In the previous class, if all of you could recollect, I have told you what management stands for. Let's recall the meaning for the word management. Management is what a manager does. So it comprises of 5 basic functions, namely planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. I have already told you that management is getting the things done through others in formally organized groups. So what does it mean when we say formally organized groups? We require a system in place in order to get the things done through others. So the work that is performed by every manager is what we call as the function of management. Now let us learn as to what each one of these functions stand for and why does a manager has to perform these activities. Usually it is the task of every manager to see that the resources of the organization are best utilized, because by using these resources he can achieve the given set of goals. So in order to have these resources being utilized properly in an effective and efficient manner, he has to perform a set of functions which we categorize as the basic functions of management. Could you say again what are the basic functions of management? Yes, planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. Now, there is an economist by name Luther Gulick. Pronounce it Luther Gulick. He has given a keyword PODSCORB. PODSCORB. Actually, the meaning of PODSCORB is nothing but the seeds inside a peas is what we call it as PODSCORB. But then when you expand this acronym PODSCORB, you get all the functions of management. P here stands for planning, O for organizing, S for staffing, D for directing, CO stands for coordination, R for reporting and B for budgeting. So you have to learn the expansion for this acronym PODSCORB. I repeat, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordination, reporting and budgeting. Actually, we do not categorize all these functions as basic functions of management. A set of functions that I have already told you, planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling, which is not in the list given by Luther Gulick, stands for the basic functions. So I will just brief you on the other functions which are stated by Luther Gulick. Coordination is considered to be the essence of management, which unites all the rest of the functions. Reporting stands for, say, the work activities that are performed by different levels are being reported to the decision maker. Budgeting stands for quantification of the future numerical activities. Now let us examine the other basic functions of management in detail. The first and foremost function of management is planning. So what do we understand by planning? Planning is the function of determining in advance what is to be done in future. What is to be done in future, who has to do it, how a particular activity has to be done and who will be doing it. All these represent the function of planning. So planning is the function of determining in advance, that is before doing a particular work, to decide as to what has to be done in future is what you call it as a plan. So it is considered as a future course of action. So what does planning imply here? It is considered to be an intellectual activity, meaning something to do with our IQ levels. So what do we do exactly under planning? We set goals in advance. We call them as end points. What exactly we want to achieve in future. And by setting the goals, we also should develop a way of achieving them. That is, we need to have the proper utilization of the resources. As I have told you, the resources of an organization comprises of human and non-human resources. Non-human, which includes materials, money, and human resources, which always includes men, the labor part, as well as management. So when you try to put these human and non-human resources in an effective and efficient manner to be utilized, then we try to achieve the goals of an organization. So planning implies setting goals in advance and developing a set way of achieving them efficiently and effectively. So understand, which is the first function of management? It is planning. Planning is an intellectual activity. What is a plan? The activity that is done under planning is said to be a plan. So what does planning mean? It is to know what has to be done in future in advance. So that is why a plan is a future course of action as such. I hope you would have understood this better. Now let us move into the second function of management. We call this as organizing. Now what does organizing indicate? Organizing is the process of bringing together physical, financial and human resources. Now let us make a wild thinking. Like we have materials and we have money. Place them in order wherever you want to and wait till it grows and the business unit succeeds. Materials remain materials, money is in its own place, there is no transition and all things are as it is. Why? Because we are not trying to unite any of the resources, nor we are trying to put any kind of intelligence in order to have the transformations, the changes to be made possible. So for this, we require the human involvement as such. So here, what does organization mean is, though we are bringing all the human and non-human resources, we need to raise a system. I told you management is getting things done through others in formally organized groups. What does that formally organized group mean? We need to raise a structure. See, for this, it is essential to identify what are the available activities. Let us take the example of a college as such. Now, when a college has to run, we need to categorize what are the different sets of students who are coming into the college to pursue their education. Now, if we take example of our college, we have two streams, science as well as commerce. So here, I need to categorize the students as science and commerce. Then only I will be able to do a proper set of teaching. So, identification of activities. What am I trying to do in a business unit as such? That is what is done under organizing. As we identify the activities, the next step is classification of activities. To make the understanding simple, I am just taking the example of the college work which you are aware of. So here, when you have identified the science and commerce streams, next what do? We have the work being classified. Say the teaching learning activity, which is of course the prime at most important activity. Other than that, we have non-core activities, like for instance cleaning, security reasons, all these come into the picture. So here, once that is over, assignment of duties. You have different posts and different people working in different designations. Each one is given a set of duties to perform. So all this involves the function of organizing. When you take profit centers, business units, same is the case. Let us imagine a production unit as such. The production unit will have the machines, raw materials are to be purchased. So who is in charge of selection of the raw materials? Who is in charge of the production responsibility? So these all come under organizing function. And of course, delegation of authority and creation of responsibility. Authority stands for decision making. Responsibility is nothing but answerability. So here, a certain structure has to be created in order to give proper decision making authority and also the answerability part. That is what I mean by delegation of authority, creation of responsibility. And all this have to be coordinated. All this has to move in one direction, that is towards the achievement of the set goals. Each one of us use our discretion, decision making power and behave how we like, and it does not serve our purpose. So coordinating this authority and responsibility relationships. Now let us try to interpret like this. What organizing function in an organization stand for? Organizing involves identification of activities. First of all, know what needs to be done in the business unit, and then categorize it, classify it, divide it into simpler units as such. Then decide what has to be done by which set of people. Then delegate authority, give. Delegation is nothing but giving, entrusting the work. So delegate the authority, create answerability. If you ask them, have you done this work, they must be in a position to say yes or no. So this is creation of responsibility. And also ensure that this authority, responsibility relationships are coordinated towards the direction of the achievement of the goals of the organization. So when you do all this, remember, you have a structure in the organization. There is a chair, but person is not there seated in it, but you know, see again, come back to your college. Now the duties of a principal is well defined. The duties of the HODs as well as other lecturers are defined. The duties of a security, the duties of a non-teaching staff, the duties of an accounts person in the office. So when you create these kinds of work centers, this is what we mean by organizing function. The third and the most important function of management is staffing. So when we say staffing, you know that human beings or human resources are the most important resources in management. See, machines and money remains the same unless men act upon it and management acts upon it. So you cannot, the materials and money will not themselves perform their work. So you require a person over there. So what does staffing indicate? Staffing includes finding the right people for the right job, in the right place at the right time. So what does staffing function include? Finding the right person for the right job in the right place at the right time. So what exactly do we do under the staffing function? Though it is very vast, I will just try to summarize in a few points as such. Manpower plan, that is how many people you want, in which capacity that you want people to work in your organization, is decided through this manpower plan. Recruitment stands for informing the people about the availability of the jobs and telling them to apply for the respective jobs. That is motivating them. We have this vacancy, come and apply. So this is what we mean by recruitment. Now when we have one person to be selected, there are 100 people who have applied for the post. What do? In the organization, we try to select the right person for the right job. So this process is what we call it as selection. After selecting a person, is that whatever the intelligence and knowledge that he has acquired, will it be enough for working in the given environment? No. That person selected for the given post has to be trained according to the situation of our organization. So we try to train that person and try to develop him in order to suit to our requirements. Now the people thus employed, so-called employees, will they work free of cost? No. The organization needs to pay money in the form of salaries, wages and financial incentives and so on. There should be performance appraisal too, that is in the form of promotions, increments and so on. So all these put together comes under the function of staffing. Staffing is the most important function, and this is also considered to be an asset function to the management, because once you invest in human beings, you reap for a long time their loyalty as well as it manifolds, that is it gives you lots of returns as such. So that is why staffing is considered to be the most important function of a life function, you can call it, of management. Well, the next is in respect to directing. Directing, what does it include? It includes 6 important sub-functions: supervision, motivation, leadership, communication, delegation and coordination. So what do you mean by supervision? Yes, it is nothing but overseeing the work performed by the employee. Now when I give you, say for instance, a test, I invigilate when you are writing the test so that none of you copy from the other person. This is nothing but supervision. Well, motivation. Motivation is giving that spark into the minds of the employees to perform their set of work in a more energetic manner. That is, to give them that kind of zeal to work in a better, loyal and energetic way is what you call it as motivation. Leadership. One who leads is known as a leader. A manager is considered to be an effective leader because he has to lead his team. Management is getting things done through others. So a manager has to lead others, and leadership is a very important element which is included in directing function. Communication. You need to express what you have to get done through others. You have to tell them in a proper manner. Now I want you to read this aloud. I have to give you that instruction. Read this word aloud. So you have to listen, you have to understand what I say, then you follow my instruction. Similarly, a manager has to communicate what the other set of workers need to do in the organization and is one of the important elements of directing function. Delegation. One person cannot do all the work by himself or herself. Just imagine one person standing near the door of the college, opening the main gates, coming and ringing the bell, coming into each one of the classrooms and giving lectures, and also going and giving a bell that the lecture hour is over. The same person collecting the fees. No, this is highly, even for an imagination, wildest imagination also, it seems to be impossible. So then what is the next alternative is to divide the work and see to it that each person performs their share of work. This is what we call it as delegation. Delegation is giving our authority and sharing, not exactly giving, it is sharing our authority and responsibility to others while you create a system in place, and their answerability is what we get back from the other set of people. So we create a cadre, we create a system, and we delegate the work. Coordination. All the functions of the management has to be performed in coordination, that is in a friendly manner, to see that the goals of an organization are being achieved. Hitherto, the main objective of achieving success will be foregone. So coordination is the essence of management, which comes under the set of directing functions. Come again. What are the important elements of directing function? Supervision, motivation, leadership, communication, delegation, and coordination. Well, the last but the most important function of management is said to be controlling. A layman understands control this way, like having a kind of superiority. My father controls the family. The teacher is a very big controller of the class. So that is not what exactly control the word means in management here. Actually, controlling is the function of monitoring organizational performance towards the attainment of organizational goals. Let me explain this function with a very simple example. Now you have a test for 50 marks in the subject Business Studies on chapter 1. Now 50 is the maximum marks that can be scored. This is what we call it as standards that are set. The teacher has set a plan to conduct a test for 50 marks. So nobody can score above 50, right? 50 is the set standards. Now you are studying for the test. When you are studying, your mind says, alright, I have to secure 50 on 50. Now not all the people would be thinking this way. Now one student would be thinking that yes, if I can get 40 because it's a very difficult chapter, I haven't understood properly. So let me at least keep a standard of securing 40 on 50. This is going to be my goal. So with this goal in his mind, he tries to work hard to prepare himself for the test. Now that 40 is that individual goal as such. Now the test is conducted, marks are being given after evaluation, and the student who has set 40 has got 38. He has scored 38 upon 50. What was his goal? He has set up his goal for securing 40. Now he has secured 38. Immediately he thinks, or rather he tries to research, where did I lose my 2 marks? So this example would better allow you to understand what controlling means. You have already set your goals and you started working towards the achievement of these goals. Now what happens is, when you are trying to work to achieve your goals, this is what we understand as actual performance. This actual performance is measured and is compared towards the already set standards. Now when you try to compare the actual performance with that of the set standards, you try to find out, is there any deviation? The word deviation. Deviation means, is there any difference between your goals set and your performance done? So if so, then immediately you start thinking as to why this deviation. If there are no deviations, well and good. Your control system is perfectly alright. But if there are any deviations, you start thinking why these deviations so happen, and immediately go back to see that you once again enact a certain set of sub-plans so that you are able to take out these deviations and try to achieve your goals in a more successful manner. So this is what we mean by controlling function. So controlling function implies the measurement of actual performance against the set standards. That is, as I have given you an example of like 50 being the standard, and you are going to get 40 at least is your standard set, and you have taken only 38 on 50 is your actual performance. connecting the deviations and if any, so as to ensure the achievement of organizational goals. Well, so far I have explained you all the functions of the management in detail. Recollect, the 5 most important functions of management include planning, organizing, staffing, directing and control. Well, in conclusion, you need to also understand all these functions of management are related to each other. They cannot be performed in isolation. If you plan and you don't organize things or you don't have people to enact it, say I have a wonderful plan, okay, a beautiful plan, and I don't have any person to implement it. Is there any use of setting such a plan for me? No. I require a person. I require a system in place. I want resources. So all these functions of management are related to each other. And try to also understand these functions are inseparable. What do you mean by inseparable? Planning is not different from directing. Directing is not different from controlling. For instance, if you take controlling function, can the function of controlling happen without planning? No, because for controlling, what is the starting point? Goals. And where do we set goals? In which function of management we set goals? We set goals in planning function. So only when we do planning function and set the goals, do the work which happens in organizing and staffing functions, then only we can control the organization. So they are overlapping. All the functions are overlapping. They are not watertight compartments. They run into one another. That is why we say each management function blends into the other. Blends means they go hand in hand together. And each management function affects the performance of the other functions. For instance, you have not planned well. Obviously, a goal only is wrong. Now, what is the use of having stalwarts and very good people who come to work in your organization? Your goals only are not properly laid means even you have the best performer with you, then also you will not be able to achieve success. Similarly, imagine you have the best performers. Imagine a cricket game. You have wonderful batsmen and that batsman is not ready to bat for your team and he is not motivated, or rather the captain doesn't give him an opportunity to bat only. So in such a case, what happens? You tell me, there will be no success obviously. So management function affects the performance of other functions. Each function in management will be affecting the performance of the other functions as such. Well, this is all for today and hope you would have understood the entire details of what I have taught you. Now let me run through the slides once again in order to have a quick recap. And here are the important 5 functions of management. Repeat with me: planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. The word Podscope was introduced by Luther Gulick. It's a 1-mark important question. Who introduced the acronym Podscope? Luther Gulick. And expand Podscope is a 2-mark question. Podscope stands for planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordination, reporting and budgeting. Planning is the first function of management and it is the function of determining what has to be done in future. Organizing, it tries to bring together physical, financial and human resources. Staffing, to find the right person for the right job in the right place at the right time. What is the other name given to staffing function? It is also called as human resource function. Directing includes supervision, motivation, leadership, communication, delegation and coordination. Actually, directing actuates the organizational methods. That is, it brings life, it creates the work culture in the organization. Controlling, though it is categorized as the last, it is the function which once again reconnects into planning. That is, it runs into planning, and it implies the measurement of actual performance and comparing it with the set standards and correcting the deviations if any. Well, these are also important lines that you need to understand, that all functions of management are related to each other, they are inseparable, they are overlapping, they run into each other, and one function of management is not performed, the other functions also cannot be performed in an effective manner. Well, thank you one and all, and ensure that you go through all these lines once again and be prepared for the next class as such. Good day. Peace.